Hey, Jason, you got your school teacher on there? Unmute.
I said it's a virtual conference. My wife is on it upstairs. So I just came downstairs.
We should virtual her in. She'll learn something.
Yeah, very true. Very true. How you doing?
Fired up out of my mind, man. I can't believe I'm going to Thailand with you.
Hey, man, I'm so excited. So excited. We're both jacked out of our...
Oh, good morning, Jason. This is Jeff Bright. How you doing?
Mr. Bright, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'll let you go.
All right, Jeff. Thank you, man. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I like that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's your day going?
You know, 1 minute at a time.
So you got to do it.
I'm gonna talk about accountability today.
Okay.
But you know, something that needs to be talked about all the time is people underestimate how time flies by. And the only way I can tell you is say, look at your results.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then you can make up, me and you both can make up excuses like nobody's business. At least I know I can. I suspect you can.
Absolutely.
You know, but time flies by. I mean, it's like you can't do a parent-teacher conference virtual and do this with me at the same time. So when you're doing something stupid, there's no way you could be doing something smart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way most people's day goes by, doing stupid stuff. Like, look what I'm doing, man. I'm putting chapstick on my fingers.
Why?
Because I don't have my cuticle stuff. You know, cuticle. You ever have hangnails?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This is solid. If you put chapstick on hangnails, they stay soft and they don't become hangnails.
You know what? I learn something new every day.
It's been life changing. I remember when I think I learned it in Amway. But I know people think that my parents didn't teach me nothing, but I knew how to go to the bathroom. I learned how to read in the 2nd grade at Albright Christian School. There's beeswax. They sell a thing called cuticle cream or cuticle wax, but it's got to be about the same thing as chapstick.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon, what's up?
What's going on, man? How you doing this morning?
Yeah. Great.
Hey, you see that Facebook? Y'all got announced.
Yes, indeed. That was a beautiful night.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Brandon? What are you talking about, Brandon?
He got his sticker put on the board. Going to Thailand.
You got a sticker? I'll tell you one night. You get a sticker, bro?
Next to Chiang Mai, you said.
Yes, indeed.
Getting coffee takes a minute. Everything takes a minute. Look at that picture of Mia hanging out down there in Santorini.
Wow. Hey, Mia.
If you ain't ever been to Santorini, you can't have a picture like that unless you just superimpose it.
Oh yeah, that was the best trip. Most incredible trip ever.
I told Jane I'm trying to talk her into let me take her back there for a week. Just sit up there on top of that island.
Yeah.
Investigate some of that, walk around, do some of that crazy shopping.
Yeah, it was amazing. I love Santorini. It's a whole different culture, a whole different world.
Yeah. They ain't in no hurry up in there, are they?
No. And did you see how everybody rides 4-wheelers? Nobody really drives. The island is so small. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Santorini, Greece?
Yeah.
The closest I came to Santorini, Greece is a Rick Ross song.
That ain't that close.
I know, right?
Jason, do you know Mia? Have y'all met?
Absolutely.
No.
We met her at that.
Jason just won a trip to Thailand, Mia.
Oh, congratulations, Jason.
Me and wifey. Yes, let's go.
That's amazing. Congratulations to you guys.
Appreciate you. And I appreciate colleague that you showed us when we were down. Actually, next month will be 1 month since we visited home office the first time. Because remember, we heard you speak at TWC for the first time.
Oh, I think I remember vaguely. Yeah. Okay. Well, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to, I remember you. Hell yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. That's
Absolutely. I was talking to this girl. She quit about 12 years ago or 14, and she wants to come back. And she was like, "You don't even remember. I remember you, Lisa." I was on the phone. I'm looking her up on Facebook, trying to. I said, "I remember you." No, you don't. I said, "Yeah. You kind of crazy." She's like, "Well, you might remember me." I said, "Oh, you real crazy." And she's like, "Yeah, you probably do remember me." I was like, I know you. I do, but you remember.
Science version of Hollywood Squares, right? The way this camera looks.
I wish I did. I can't see everybody, but it's okay.
You can't see everybody?
No, I can see whoever's talking.
You got to hit the gallery view.
Yeah, there's top right corner, this thing that says view, and it gives you options. One of them looks like the squares thing that he said.
I think it's just because I'm on my phone.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It's hard to do on a phone, but it's possible. Hey, all right, and there's a couple more people joining us. We've got some great things going. Oh, I like that background. We've got some great stuff going on in the Alliance, but I want to talk to y'all, to you guys that are on here. And there's a couple more people I'm trying to get on that it's my bad, last minute asking them to jump on. But this business is it's not that difficult. I've got my 8 steps books holding up my camera, so I'm not going to pull out my 8 steps book. But you should review that 8 steps book and just judge yourself. Today we're talking about accountability. But you should say, hey, I'm accountable at a 9, or I'm accountable at a 5. The main thing about accountability is blame. Who do you blame? And people, I said this in my office Wednesday morning, like I said, the day before yesterday. People say, how come you're not a billionaire, Andy? And I go, lack of leadership and lack of focus. I didn't have enough focus. I didn't have enough leadership to go to a billionaire. So you're working on it, I'm working on it. How come you hadn't done it already? Well, it's just poor performance on my part. People have a hard time saying that. They have an easy time pointing at somebody else. That is the opposite of accountability. I tell you what else I could blame. I could blame it on my people. I just hadn't found the right people yet. But it's me finding the right people, me coaching, me developing, me looking in the right places. The main thing is me quit goofing off. Or like we were starting to say earlier, Jason, it's minutes fly by. You got to start to realize how many minutes go by and you were doing nothing productive. The only time you realize that is like when it's time to jump on a show and you're doing the show. I got to fix my hair. I got to brush my teeth. I got to go to the bathroom. I got to get me something to drink. And there's 6 minutes to do all that. You have to make a decision. Grab some water, fake the hair, grab a Coke that's already prepared. You start cutting corners because you waited to the last minute and you realize how fast time goes. But when people wake up in the morning, get up at 7 o'clock, there's no rush. We got until 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. We got plenty of time so they don't start watching every minute go by. That's really for you, Brandon, Mia, Jason. It's those minutes just click, and you can't do everything. So you got to realize which ones are most important. And I had a good young man ask me that the other day. He said, how do I know what's the right thing to be working on? I was like, that's a great question. Well, there's a book Yeah, either one of y'all know that book, the Quadrant book? I ain't in my office, so it's not easy for me to look.
Rich Dad Poor Dad book.
Yes,
Robert,
that's it.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
Capital.
Yes. No, that's a great book, but it's not that one. Not Kiyosaki. It's a guy he's passed away now. And his son took over, and his sons are actually written a book. His son wrote a book called The Speed of Trust. I'll be getting text here. Huh?
That was written by Stephen Covey, so I'm not sure what his dad's name
You're
is.
jumping on. Yeah, Covey wrote the other book too that I'm talking about. It's the Principles of Time. It's Quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
I'm looking for somebody to text me the book I'm talking about. Okay, and I was like, dude, I want you to read the book, but I don't need you to wait to read a 235-page book.
Okay.
To tell you some things are more important than others. And if you start in the morning thinking, I got to get as much done toward the thing I'm trying to do. It sounds kind of silly. I got to get as much done toward the thing I'm trying to do. In other words, I got to kick this can down the road. If you're kicking the can down the road, you're not over there looking at flowers and picking mushrooms. You're kicking the can down the road. Does that make sense to me? I mean, people, they do so many other things. And they say things like, I'm retired. Like, dude, you're not retired. You're starting a business. And they'll take 17 vacations or 17 walks on the beach or 17. And it's like, geez, when you need some money, when you get an emergency situation and you have a health problem and you have no overrides coming in, you're going to blame everybody but yourself, and you're not going to remember those vacations. You're going to expect somebody to support you, either the government or your mama or your church or your upline. Bring me groceries. It's going to be a Stephen, 7 habits. 7 habits of highly successful people is one of them. Still, that's not it. It's not the cash flow quadrant either. It's the one that has quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, and quad 4, and you're supposed to work in quad 2 all the time. But that is things that are important down the road, like reading, working out, healthy, building a hierarchy. What is it?
Going to my library.
Going to his library. All right. It's First Things First. That's it. First Things First by Stephen Covey. First things first. See, here's what most people do. Whatever makes them happy, whatever's convenient. Hey, Gina! Unmute.
Oh, hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. I just want to see you without that mask, right?
Well, I just woke up, so don't look too hard.
Well, when you took, I got a peek when you put down when you're drinking, and I said, I got you to smile. Well, and I want to introduce you to Mia because I was pointing at her in the meeting. That's her.
Okay.
That's her. And
Hi,
Mia,
Gina.
Hi, Mia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Y'all are too bad to the bone people. Both highly qualified, overqualified to have normal jobs. Okay, and Gina went to graduate from Howard. And did you get another degree on top of that?
No, just Howard.
But she had a lot of experience. And Mia was North Carolina Agriculture and Technology University.
Agricultural and technological. Agricultural and tech.
She gets mad when I call it ANTT. I call it ANTT.
Yeah, he calls it AT&T, and I hate that. That's a cell phone company.
Right. My brother went to A&T, so I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big defense contract company right there. Hey, Benny. Unmute, stud.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, guys.
Benny been through the school of hard knocks. That's the school he went to, Gina.
Okay. That's fine. Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, right, Vinny.
That's right. I went there and back, and I'm not going back no more. I'm just gonna stay going forward. So
Hey, Gina, I mean, Mia, I gotta take you down well, it ain't far from our office. Matter of fact, it's where my I got some stuff hid in a warehouse over there. But AT&T is where my mama worked for 25 years. Okay.
Okay.
And they've got 3 million square feet over there. One building cost $80 million. You can't see inside from satellite, X-ray. It's pure concrete. I almost bought the whole 3 million square feet of offices and complexes, and it's right. We could start a whole village civilization over there, and it's only like $2 million. You know, I almost bought it. I was like, God. But I was like, what would it cost to fix? That's where your problem is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what I think when I think of AT&T. That's what I mean. It literally it's where they were planning. You remember? Have you ever heard that one time America was working on lasers? That if they tried to bomb us, they would shoot them all down.
Yeah.
That's for real. Well, they were working on that there in Burlington.
Mm-hmm. In Burlington.
In Burlington.
Terry said, "Ain't nothing going on in Burlington."
Well, hey, it ain't
the
no
alliance
more.
of AT&T.
It ain't no more. But you know what? I got cold chills thinking about this. The alliance was started out of Burlington, and there's 3 other massive insurance companies that were started out of Burlington. I never knew it, but it's kind of like us. You know, a lot of people don't know me. They have no idea that you're on a team, that Gina's on a team, that Vinny's on a team. It goes across the nation. People don't know. The question is, do you want to be famous or do you want to be rich? Do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? Do you want to have a reputation or a bank account? Mm-hmm. And that's what I went to work on Gina as soon as I met her. I was like, I got to get this girl, I got to get this lady to understand. And I know you know it, Gina, but I'm going to keep hammering that point. Freedom, power, money, friends has nothing to do with job and having a title like doctor or engineer. I mean, I'm an engineer, right? And that's why I love it when Vinny gets on here and he goes School of Hard Knocks and he gets talking crazy and then he outsells people. Vinny's already won an all expense paid trip to Thailand, working on a trip we go to Phuket and then we go to Chiang Mai. Jason Garland, you see, well, he's the one that's got the big tin can. Give him something, Jason Garland. That's him right there. Jason and his wife just won an all expense paid trip. And my son-in-law, Brandon, I shouldn't call him that. Brandon, one of our agency managers, what I should have called him. Okay, I just want to remind him sometimes. You know? He's the one that everybody thinks I'm cheating for, only because I am.
Only because I am.
Only because I am. They see right through it. Let me be crystal clear. I am cheating for Mia Fennell every way, every chance, every how I can. I was just looking at and we do it so many different ways, Gina. Who do we cheat for? The people that put up the numbers, that are loyal, that work, that won't jack up stuff when we give it to them. You know, some people, you give them stuff and they jack it up. It's like,
well, what do you mean cheat?
Like if I take your phone call and I tell you a upcoming incentive, okay, it might be going announced at it might going to be announced Monday at 4, but if I tell you on Friday, you can start 3 days ahead. Or how about this? I always favor foresters. Okay, foresters one of the insurance. I told you that, the fraternal. Remember, we did fraternal, mutual, private, and public. Right. Well, I favor foresters. Well, I'm telling you that. Well, now if you start favoring foresters, you'll be shocked that the contests are tied into foresters. You say, well, anybody could take advantage of that. Yeah, but the people that listen to me are the ones that I cheat for. And in other words, the cheating is nothing more than I'm helping you. I'm cussing at you. I'm screaming at you. I
Mhm.
scream at Brandon more than I scream at anybody else. And so far, he's not objected it. He's not said, I really think you're just trying to trick me into this. It's true, I am, but I had a mentor one time, and he said, you must avail yourself to my trickery. You must avail yourself to my methodology. So it's nothing. Now I will tell you, I will hire somebody in Charlotte, and I'll be like, Mia, you take them. Oftentimes, I've done it with Jason. I've done it with Brandon. And here's the problem: I give it to some people, and it don't work. But maybe it's the person I gave to them was a dud, or maybe this person made them into a dud. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like there's one of a guy that's been around for a long time, and I said, hey, Brandon, you mind working with this guy? He said, sure. Well, that guy's done really good. He likes Brandon. What if I had gave Brandon to McCormick over here, and McCormick is arrogant, treats him like dirt? Now I cheated for him. I gave him somebody, and he don't handle it well. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So I can't deal with everybody. And we decided like I would work with Maya, and that therefore I'm working right with you. But we didn't say, hey, how about y'all going? But at some point, I might say, hey, how about working over here? Do you mind? They'll help you more. I'm too crazy. It's not. Here's what you got to understand. You don't have to understand, but here's what I'd like for you to understand. My goal is me and my family's success, and you and your family's success.
Okay.
That's it. It's not complicated.
Right.
People say, where's God? I go, oh, I didn't know you want to bring that into it. God's number one. But you don't go to church enough, and you drink too much wine, you cuss too much, you bring up Mother Mary's name in vain. I'll be like, you live your God number one, I'll live my God number one. How about that? I got Jehovah's, I got Mormons, I got Methodists on our team.
Okay.
I got some Methodists up in here. See, I can talk junk to them because they ain't gonna get mad because they just go like, I don't care. You start talking to these other religions, but them boys get on you, man. I'm Catholic. I got some Catholics. Well, I got one guy with like 17 children. He keeps having.
Wow. That sounds
I
Catholic.
exaggerated, but I didn't exaggerate by much. Okay, does that make sense though? I mean, everybody, thank y'all all for helping with that book. First Things First by Covey is an amazing book. That's it. And flip to the quadrants. Flip through that and find the quadrants in it. People live in the wrong quadrants in their life. Covey divides it up into 4 quadrants. And this is not the Covey talk today, but one of the quadrants is just a total waste of time. And you have to seek out these problems. Like you have to start up a video game to waste your time. But the phone ringing from a dumb person, you don't have to do nothing. It interrupts you. That's quadrant 3. Quadrant 4 is when you have to go find something to waste your time. And yeah, there it is. And quadrant 3 is where it interrupts you. And then quadrant 2 is where you have to go get it. And that's where you get rich. And quadrant 1 is where it's emergency. Like I got this call at 10. That's an emergency. That's quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 is when I got with Jeff Bright and planned for this. So if you live your whole life in quadrant 1 and 2, your whole life is better off. So I'm going to try to trick you into staying in quadrant 1 or 2. And here's what people will say, Mia. They'll go, he's trying to get me away from my family. I'm like, bro, I could care less. Go live with your family. I don't care. It's not my life. But you said you wanted a good life. No, you said you wanted a great life. So the word today is accountability. It's right out of my book. I handed y'all the book. Y'all seen the book. I was trying to, I got it sitting behind here. Accountability. All right. And before I do that, I do want to do Handy. Are you able to pull up the leaderboards? And let's see who's on them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, buddy. I want to get, everybody likes their recognition. What I would encourage, I know Terry does this to you, but Brandon, I would start to do a Zoom call from time to time, not all the time, but just pop a Zoom call and do some recognition. So Virginia Gutierrez turned in a big annuity. That's why she's #1 in production. With annuities, we count 10%, so you get the credit, but it's one out. You can see it's only one out. Sarge, or Robert Wilson, we like to call him, he got 17 apps for $21,000 in a week. Let me give you an idea, Gina. Our commissions go from 55% to 120%. So if you're brand new on a 50 and you did 21,000, you'd make 10 grand that week. Okay, so if you're higher up, like a 90 or 100, you would make, and there's not exact numbers, you'd be roughly 21,000 in that week. Now, the other thing is, this is submit. Remember, I told you that you get 75% of them are going to get issued. So if he turns in 17, you can take 75% and know that all of them are not going to get issued because people lie to you. You didn't find out their health problems, blah, 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 blah. They changed their mind. You can't make 17 people stick with the program.
Right.
And see, let me tell you something. Here's the hardest thing to understand. Mia, this is a girl I've met twice. This is the second time. And I'm trying to I've got to get her up. I want you to hear what all I'm saying. I'm working my butt off. Here's what I said, Gina, when you wasn't in there. I said, I would take 20 of her who laugh at me and tell me I'm an idiot and walk away, rather than 20 people that are not capable, love on me and do everything I say.
I didn't walk away. I had to use the bathroom.
I didn't mean that one.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like literally.
But thank you for being sensitive.
Okay.
For being sensitive. She's had great jobs and she's educated and she's the right age to turn her into a CEO. But you see what I'm saying, Mia? But I want to tell you what I'm saying, Gina. I mean that in a compliment. You got to find highest capable people. Even though they say no, I tell the guys, I go, if you want to, I mean, no offense to the big fat ugly girls, but I'm just saying, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to talk to the one you want. If you talk to the one you can get, you know, and by the way, I mean, I had a partner, he thought skinny was the ugliest thing in the world. So that's just preference, right? So I'm saying, what do you want is what you got to talk to. Because if you talk to what you don't want, that's what you're going to end up getting. Mm-hmm. Make sense?
Yeah.
I've told Mia this. I was thinking about that guy that you thought he was such a great agent. And me and Terry looked at him and we said, he's got one thing on his mind and it ain't premium.
I remember.
And Mia was like, why do you think that?
I was like, what?
We're like, not good. I said, that guy's a problem. Like right out of the movies. And then Terry's like, you met Terry. He's the big guy with his wife. And he was like, tell him, Mia, tell him. And Mia's like, well, he's just got a little felon.
Anything, he looks like he just got out of jail.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
He's right out of the movie. But hey, I'm sure he's a lot of fun. That's what I told me. I'm sure he's a lot of fun.
No, he's cut. I cut him out of everything. I don't even know where he is. I don't know anything about him anymore.
I always tell my children, like, did y'all watch TV when y'all was little? I mean, you know this is where it's headed, you know. Hey, I was talking about placement and persistency. Okay, so you submit is what they turn in, and then we'll do issue pay. I'm sorry, we done got Hutch on here now. Hutch is the #2 producer in the United States of America. Now y'all gonna be impressed. I want to get you on a Zoom because I've been talking so much trash about you, Hutch. I want to make sure I'm doing it to your face. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, we're good.
All right. That's Hutch. We'll get him on here and talk a little bit more. Noel is coming on strong under Brandon Beal, Noel Wilson, Eric and Randy Cruz under Bear. Look at this. 13 people in the country submitted over $10,000. Mimi Ramirez in a week. Elizabeth, Evan Patzer, Terry and Tia Edwards, Dr. Bear, Theo Bear, Megan Wood. Megan Wood is #1 in the country, Gina. Single mama, no college education. was working at some restaurant. What was the name of it?
Applebee's.
Crackle Barrel.
Applebee's. Yeah, we do have a Cracker Barrel manager on here too. That's Diana Castile. And Jonathan and Megan Yakey, both of them are Jonathan and Megan, both are high level college educated, young. Their mother is normally on here, Michelle Alleman. You can see their mom and daddy over to the right, Mike and Michelle. Well, it's Megan's mom and daddy. It's a different Megan. And then Blake Everett, which is my cousin, a cuz, he had 10 grand. Let's scroll it down, Stephen Handy. Annuity sales, you're going to see Virginia. See, that's 620,000. That's how she was up at the top because that was combined production. Eric and Randy Cruz, 175,000. Let me tell you what you get on an annuity, Gina. Roughly, easiest way to do it, say about 5%. It might be 4.5, but just say 5%. So you would get $30,000 if you moved 600,000 from a bank account to an insurance company. And you guarantee they'll make more money than a bank account. Or you can move it from the stock market because if they're in their 60s and the money goes down, they're screwed. You put an annuity, it won't never go down. It'll only go up. Okay. So annuities are fun. When you get one, it's pretty exciting. We had, what do we have? 7 people, and these are all issued. They're just not submitted because with annuities, we don't see the submit information. We usually only see the issue. So 7 people over 100,000. Blake Everett had 100,000 issued. Stan Allridge, Elizabeth Ogden, Noel Wilson, Phil Abair, Terry and Tia. And see what happens is, Gina, when you're out there doing what we do, mortgage protection, final expense, you're looking around for other opportunities. We got this one lady, she said, how do I get a date? I said, you're looking for 4 things: cash to make the payment for insurance, you're looking for retirement money, you're trying to recruit them, you're trying to get referrals, and you have a 5th, you're looking for a date. That's when you look for a date. And she was like, I ain't got no time. I said, when you're in the house, you need to look around at pictures. She's like, who's he? Is he married? She's doing it too. She's got a couple really good dates out of it.
Better than Tinder, huh?
I don't know. I was married 33 years. I hated it. I hated that dating thing. All right. Theo, woohoo. Mike Hartlib, Amy, Joe, and Tim and Nikki. Way to go. All right, go down to issue paid life. All right, this is where the rubber meets the road. Michelle Alleman, that's the other little girl's mom and dad, Jonathan and Megan. So Jonathan and Megan both graduated big time college, both had big time jobs. Both of them said, this is stupid. Look how one of them, the man said, Jonathan, he said, look how my mother-in-law lives. And the little girl said, look how my mommy lives. I'm out. And she was with, a big steak restaurant in Houston, Texas. She ran the whole steakhouse. One of my favorite steakhouses.
Andy, this is submit. Up top was issue paid.
Are you kidding me?
No joke.
Well, thank you for correcting me. Let's go back to issue paid again then. So this is, it says I paid. IP right there. Issue paid right in front of your face, you dumb Albright. Okay, so these people issued. So Robert Wilson issued 21,000. So I just take a minute. So these are issued business. All right, go back down to submit. So the mama submitted 25,000. Who else we got? Chris and Courtney Long. Okay, watch this. Robert Wilson had all that issued last week, and now he's got 21,000 submitted this week. Chris and Courtney Long, 18,000. Kyle and Janina. Janina's from the Black Forest. I ain't never heard of the Black Forest. Somewhere in Germany. I think that's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right, Mia?
Yeah, in Germany.
Yeah. Like she says, you're a redneck, you should be from the Black Forest. You think you're redneck, you should be from the Black Forest. You see where I'm from in Germany. I was like, she's like, it's the middle of nowhere. I was like, all right, Janina. And they live in Jacksonville, Florida. Stephen and Holly Davies. Stephen's been killing it. Stephen's one of the multimillionaires. He's made millions with us. He's taken a lot of his old clients and going back and making some quick money by converting them on the phone. That's the other thing you got to understand. Hutch, do you have any idea the value, all the business you've written, those are your clients for the rest of your life. You will make sale after sale after sale after sale. Look at this. Davies is going to come in and knock out $17,000 just like that on old clients. You'll be able to do that when you build a big hierarchy, Hutch, and you want to make an extra 20 grand to buy a hot tub, or you want to buy your wife another crazy stupid diamond or a piece of jewelry. Just go out there and knock out $20,000. See, if you're a gynecologist, if you're a back surgeon, and you're a dentist, and you're making $250,000 or $400,000, let me tell y'all something. They can't just go out and pop an extra 10 grand in a week. Or in a month, you could pop in an extra 40 grand. You're stuck at 400,000. And by the way, if you hurt your finger, if you hurt your eyes, no go, money gone. Unless you figured out a way to have multiple dentist offices or multiple doctors underneath you. And you can do that. You want to talk about hard. You think this is hard. This is easy peasy compared to trying to do that as a doctor. Because you got to keep up with all the technology. You got to keep up with all the lawsuits and malpractices. Anyway, all right. Big time submit, Kyle Janina, Thomas Murphy. There's Thomas Murphy, Brandon, 16,900. So what would happen is he thought he was going to get it last week, and it showed up this week. There it is. You with me?
I'm with you.
It's just a cutoff date. That's what I would guess. Linda, God, what is Linda's last name? I know her. She's killing it. It's not Lindar. Lindar out of Texas. She's a badass too. I'm telling you, y'all gonna like her. Brand new.
Lindar Cook.
Lindar Cook. Who's telling me that?
Stephen Handy.
Handy. That's right. And there's Diana Castillo at 14,000. She's the one we call the Cracker Barrel lady. Justin Sidney Lagoganis. Justin graduated from Miami with 3 college degrees and was going to be a back surgeon and realized he was going to have to go to school 15 more years. He would graduate in stupid debt, and he would not have the freedom to travel the world, and said, I'm out, and started building this business. And him and Sydney are getting married in November, and she was building the business and selling. I'm not sure she went to college. I want to say she's so young that I don't think she's went to college. Huge variety of people that can get rich here. Man, Brandon Beal is starting to get all kinds of new people selling. Brandon went to, I want to say, Northern Illinois and played football there. And then I want to say he played with Cincinnati Bengals in the NFL. I'm not sure if that's correct. He'll text me. Yep, Lindar Cook. Gina is located in Charlotte, North Carolina, Terry, I think. Is that where you are, Gina? Charlotte?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And did your business get curtailed or furloughed because of the COVID?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, we had a new CEO start, and I was the planner for the FDG department. So it's like fine tabletop and giftware. So the department was pretty much like a shrinking business anyway. So he came in and kind of got rid of multiple departments before like the whole COVID thing hit. But I think he knew about it a little bit before time, like because our supply chain was already being affected by China, like their COVID situation. So I think he was just getting ahead of like the whole quarantine situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to pry on public too much, but were you 6-figure income to do planning?
Almost.
Okay. Mia, what's the chances she'd make 100,000 next year with us?
100%. If she just listens to the coaching and works, yeah, it's easy. It's not easy. It's simple.
That's right. It's not easy. It's simple.
Very, very simple. With that kind of background and yeah, absolutely.
Watch this. Here's something that I'm going to show you something on my phone that scares some people to death. So get ready, brace yourself. You may have never seen this before. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
What?
What is that? Why would you ever use that?
To call people.
Yeah, but who are you calling? People that you haven't met before.
Oh, right. Because you don't have their contact information.
Yeah, you don't have their contact in there. So when you open up that, some people have cold shivers. And I'm like, are you, and this when it comes out. When I was a little boy, my daddy, I'm like, oh, don't tell me. I don't want to hear it. My uncle, my mama, I'm like, guys, listen. My mama hit me. So, I don't know what to tell you. I understand. You know, touch too much, not touched enough. I get it. This is calling people. Let's move on in our life. Let's take accountability. I got to get on to my show. But this, if you can press those numbers, that is simple. But the hard thing is the mental thing. Look at Benny going down the road. I love him. Can y'all see him? Well, you can't see him, G. You can see him. He is cray. He don't want a trip to Thailand already. And we're mad at him all the time because he only works 2 days a week selling, don't want a trip to Thailand. And you got other people out there, I'm busting my butt and I can't win a trip. Like, let me explain something to you. We can't see in your life, but we can see in your life. I got a friend of a friend, he's a coroner. He said, I can tell you how you lived by how you died. I can tell what you're doing by the points you're putting on the board. I know what you're doing. That jugger right there, Benny, could win an all-expense trip to both Thailands, Phuket and Chiang Mai, and he could win a trip for his mom and daddy. Look at him shaking his head. Shake his head. He knows he could do it. We're always trying to get him to do it, you know. All right, so out of my blue book on accountability, there's two choices in life. This is right out of my book. I'm not going to get him to pull it up. We can pull up the screen, but I don't want him to pull it up. Accept the conditions as they exist, or accept responsibility to change it. Accept, so in other words, be broke, but don't bitch. Be broke, but don't complain. I don't care. Hang around your cousin that's on drugs. I don't care. It's your life. But don't complain about the results you get.
Right.
Take responsibility and change. Like, I'm mad about an outside problem that hurts our company, and I'm raising hell about it. And I'm going to try to fix it. But at the same time, I got to make our company impervious to problems. It's my responsibility to teach us to be impervious. But I'm going to bomb the problem. But I got to win here regardless of what happens outside. Makes sense, Brandon? I got to, like, this is where I'm responsible. It's my responsibility to get people to become partner in our company. And I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to have some people making multi-millions with us. All right. Responsibility to change it. Number 2, edify your thoughts and you'll edify your actions. This is, I'm going to tell you, hopefully sometimes, Gina, you'll say, is that true? I've never heard that before. So I'm going to tell you something. This makes a lot of people, it changes a lot of people's life. This is true, Gina, but you're going to have to, I'm going to show you where to reinforce it. You have a really smart psychiatrist or a really smart preacher can tell you this. You ever, like, don't say it, don't answer the question, but do you ever have bad thoughts? Like, ooh, that was nasty. Oh, that was wrong. I shouldn't have thought that. A lot of people think that's who they are, but it's not who you are. It's really spooky, but spirits are allowed to tell you bad stuff, and then you think it. Okay? You say, I don't believe in spirits. Well, where do you think it comes from? You think you have a bad heart? Because let me tell you something. Preacher Graham, Billy Graham, has bad thoughts. Anybody you know has bad thoughts. Like, I want to slap that bitch. Or
That's not
let's go nasty talk. I would like, you shouldn't think that. It's not who you are. It's, you can't control anything that pops in your head. If you ever have a husband or a wife and you say, I would like to kill her, or I would hope she dies. Okay, that's fine. Now, say to yourself, I love her, I love him, it'll be okay, we're going to get through this. The thought comes in, but what you say next matters. Or if you think, I'm gonna slap that bitch. And then you haul off and slap her. Next thing you know, you're in jail and you got a little something on your record. It's what you do, not what you think. So if you think, God, I'm thinking about killing her, and keep thinking about it, it's a bad idea. So in other words, if you edify your thought, if you change your thought, like the first thought is not okay. It's the second time you think it, and the third time, and the fourth, and the fifth, and then you do it. And then people say, it just happened. I said, it didn't just happen. You've been thinking about that thing for years. No, I ain't. Yeah, you were. Yeah, you did. All right. Develop an accountability muscle by developing your faith muscle. Faith is believing in things unseen and then acting like it's seen until it happens. I didn't do it in the King James version right there, but the faith is I know this will work. I know it, and then do it. But do it even if you die. People say, I don't want to die. I go, it's not that bad. Oh, depends. How much faith do you have, right? It's the getting injured I'm against. Okay, a positive outcome by having a positive outlook. Fear produces negative results. Appreciation and thankfulness produce positive results. So let me tell you how this works. All right. To get commitment or accountability, this is the weirdest thing in the world to me. Fear or fairness will get you to stop. Gratitude and thankfulness will get you fired up out of your mind. Vinny, I thought your car had turned over when you did your phone like that. I was like, great. We just lost $20,000 a month production just like that.
Oh my.
I care about you too, Vinny.
But we care about premium.
We're trying to win some contests here. We're all as a team. Okay. Faith and gratitude will make you money. It's hard to say, I'm thankful for being born in America. I'm thankful for freedom and the opportunity to move ahead and sit on your ass. I wish the Alliance would change this. I wish if Terry Edwards would just do this. That's who hired me. So if I wish Terry Edwards, then I could. But if you say, I'm thankful that they care about me, I'm thankful, I'm appreciative, I've got gratitude, at least I got two hands. I was real mad because I can't palm a basketball unless I put glue on my hands. So if I complain about that, it's hard. If I'm grateful for it, if I'm grateful I got hands, now I do something with them. So fairness. It's not fair that he was born and grew up so tall. It's not fair that Bailick's daddy is Jeff Bailick that graduated from Miami. His dad is a multi-millionaire. My dad was a postman. I'm grateful that my dad taught me hard work. He's grateful that his dad built a business. How about this one? I'm grateful that my mama beat me. I'm grateful that it's not that, it's just being grateful. Hey, I hate what happened to me, but I'm grateful that I survived. How about that? I'm grateful that I survived an ordeal. We've got a guy that's really killing this thing, Gina. He saw people jumping out of the Twin Towers because they were on fire. Can you imagine getting that out of your mind? He's grateful that he is here to help other people. So anything that happened in our past, we've got people that were abused when they were children. We've got people that were not loved when they were children. My dad was given away as a kid, not adopted, just given to somebody else. I didn't hear him talk about that. I didn't talk about getting to work. It's grateful that Lon McCauley called him Daddy Lon. He's grateful that Lon took him. All he ever talked about was Lon McCauley and how Lon McCauley, Daddy Lon, he called him. Now, I met the other guy. He called him Mr. Albright. Everybody's got craziness. If y'all want to think my craziness, sometimes I'll let people meet my mama every once in a while. I'll be like, talk to her a few minutes. Just talk just a few minutes. See what happens. Don't quit either. Like, don't quit our business. I mean, all right. So how do you reconcile this? It's this right here. It's what you say and what you do that care about. Let me tell y'all something. When I look at my heroes, like I think the world of Kid Rock. He's not perfect. He's got problems, probably some that you and I don't even know about. I like Michael Jordan. I don't like that he went to Carolina. His hero is David Thompson, or one of his heroes. David went to NC State, but people don't know David because they ain't as old as me. They call him Skywalker. This joker could jump, take a quarter off the top of a backboard and make change and leave it up there and come back down. Not kidding. You know who he is, right, Hutch? Or do you?
David Thompson.
Yeah.
I know the name. I'm not super familiar with him.
You are familiar.
Yes.
He's Hutch. Tell him what you did and what you'd love to be doing now, other than being rich with us.
For 6 years, I refereed college basketball, made it to low-level Division I, and got married and started having babies and had to hang that up.
But he'd love to be umpiring in the NBA or refereeing in the NBA or Division I and getting paid, big money to go to ball games.
Hey, that referee, Mike Eads, at the Miami game we went to, 2 months after that game, he was promoted to SEC coordinator of officials. I could be in the SEC right now, but this is much better.
Yeah, because he would have knew you and said, "Hey, I'm going to bring you in."
Yep.
It's politics mostly in that world, because you got all these referees are just as good, but who's your friend?
Yep.
And people say, "Here, let me tell y'all something. Me and Benny probably wouldn't be friends, but my man produces. Next thing you know, we got to be good friends." Right? Now, I will say this. Well, it is very difficult in some industries to move up if you're something. Like, for example, my accent hurt me tremendously in textiles. They wanted me to be more northern speaking, not redneck speaking. They wanted Ivy School, not North Carolina State University. I still did okay there, but it was going to be difficult to do what I wanted to do, which is make millions and have freedom. And I would say the same thing for females. You are going to have a problem out there. Well, we're going to make it fair. Good luck with that. Behind the scenes, it's hard to control what goes on behind the scenes. So David Thompson, I'm good friends with David Thompson. I like him, but when he left university, he didn't do what Michael Jordan did. Jordan took his career and catapulted with Nike. Y'all don't know Roger Staubach. Roger Staubach's an old guy that he played for Dallas Cowboys, and he went on to become multi-millionaire in real estate. Steve Young played quarterback for the 49ers, made millions there, but went on to make multi-millions, lives in Salt Lake City, and now owns all the rights to my company. Steve Young, the football player, owns all the rights to the company. I run it for him, and I've got a bunch of stock in his company, and our goal is to turn that stock into millions on top of millions. And our goal is to get you, Gina, to a partnership like a law firm. Have y'all thought about this? If you're in a law firm, your goal is to become partner. The way you become partner is you bring millions to the attorneyship, the lawyership. Become a partner in an accounting firm. I didn't know this. I didn't know law firms were pyramids. I didn't know that accounting firms were pyramids. Now I've got good friends at the top of those pyramids, and I get it. They got divisions, and a division is a smaller pyramid. That's not the word they use, but it's very similar. You want to become a partner there. You want to become a partner here. You want to grow your income, but the goal is to become a partner. So now you share in the revenue for all. Now you're making money off of Mia. You're making money off of Jason. You're making money off of Brandon. You're even making money off of companies that don't even part of the alliance. You're making money off of NASB. You're making money off of your insurance group, YIG. That's a company. When you become a partner, you get percentages off of everybody. All right, let's go back. All right, now listen to this. Fear, scared of that phone. That's a phobia. Fairness, perception. Women aren't as treated fair over here. Why? Well, you never say my name. You never say my name. Like, I read the leaderboards. I know. So if you're not in the top 20, you don't even get mentioned. Here's what I'm telling managers. Have smaller meetings so that people that are ranked 70 get recognized on your meetings. In other words, if Mike Leventovich does a recognition meeting, your name will get called because you'll be in the top 20. Or if Stephen Davies does one, or if we do one for our base, or Brandon does. But it's everybody's treated fair. There's guys that don't get their names called, but it's perception. Oh, he helps Brand. He helps Mia. He just likes Mia because she's pretty. Like, or
Mia will work.
Mia work.
I want to train mine. I work.
Hey, tell Gina about my conversation with you. I don't know where you was. I know I was down near Charlotte, near a railroad track on the phone with you. You were somewhere.
When you were laughing at me.
Well, I was like that one, but the thing about needing a boss. Somebody. Tell her both.
Yeah. We had two conversations that day. So the first conversation was, I had kind of gotten frustrated, Gina, and I called myself going to get a job for a day and thinking that I needed to go back to work and for somebody else while I was building this business. And I came out the job after working that whole day, and I called Andy first. And Andy, when I told him that I had added up on the calculator how much I'll be getting paid after 2 weeks and how pissed I was, he busted out laughing at me. So then he told me he had a meeting to go to and he would call me back, and he did just that. He called me back that night. And that conversation the second time changed everything for me. He said, the first question he asked me, he said, Mia, do you need a boss? And I was like, what? What do you mean? No. And he said, because I don't need a boss. I don't need anybody telling me how much money I can make. I don't need anybody telling me where I can take Jane on vacation, what kind of cars I can drive, what kind of house I live in. And for 45 minutes, he poured into me that night. And he said, if you don't want to ever have anyone be in control of your life ever again, you need to make the decision today to change it. And I kid you not, that night I got on the phone, I killed the phone all night long until like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. I was recruiting, I was selling. And then the next day, I never, ever went back to a job. And that was Andy, that was in like, I think December 2018. November, December.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Now you have a full-time employee that you pay them a salary.
Yep. I have an office space here in Charlotte. Winning trips. I don't know how many trips. It's been like 4 trips now so far that I've won with the Alliance. 6-figure income. I've never made a 6-figure in a full calendar year before the Alliance. And it's been an amazing journey. I cannot believe how much life has changed in 2.5 years because of that conversation, because Terry and Tia told me about this, and just believing that I deserve to be here. And I work. I don't mind working. So I know that just continuing to just work and be around these people is just going to get me where I really want to go.
See why I wanted you to meet her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now I'm like, I was frustrated with her thinking about getting a job. Not frustrated, but now I'm going, damn it, Mia, let's get you to $500,000. Let's get you where you're driving brand new Mercedes. Let's do it. It's the highest paid job you can get is getting other people to move. That's what the world will pay you millions to get other people to move. So you say, well, she's moving. She's moving. I want her moving like this. And I know she is. Terry spent 2.5 hours on the phone with her, working her friends. And didn't y'all, is the Ohio guy still on the hook, or is he?
Yeah. I think he's on the call right now. His name is Ronaldo. He's in Ohio. And then there's another guy that I brought to corporate the other day. His name is Quentin. Terry didn't get a chance to talk to him, but we sent him a message. He actually is watching now. He came out to headquarters with us the other day to meet you.
I met him.
Mm-hmm.
But see, so what happens is she's okay making 6 figures, and I'm going like, I'm praying, beside my bed at night, please God, talk to Mia, get her to build a network, because if something happens to her, she gets hurt, or she has health problems, or if she needs a surgery or something special she's going to need.
Mm-hmm.
I want people, because you got to understand, and I mean, the Bible says that you can't build up protection with money, and I go, that's true. But if you need surgery, money would help. I mean, if your preacher needs some money, money would help. Here's the other argument I get. Andy likes bald heads. That's why he's helping Garland so much. You're working on it, but you're working on it. Garland, how excited? Do y'all have y'all's passport yet?
Working on it.
Never had a passport before in your life. Never been to Canada, Mexico, Germany. Now you got to get a passport because of the alliance.
This is huge, man. Huge.
So here's what people think, Mia. Once he's won Thailand, he's with us forever. And that's what you would think. But what I'm telling you, you see in between those glasses, behind them eyeballs, there's a head game going on.
Mm-hmm.
If he can win the gratitude, the thankfulness, right? Here's like, my mama didn't pay for my college education. My mama, my daddy. You got to remember the thankfulness. At least they fed you. At least they didn't kill you. People do that. That a guy over here in Orlando took out his 2 children, the dog, the wife, and then himself. At least she didn't do that. How do you see the bright side of people? How do you remember gratitude? I was getting a little depressed the other day, Gina, and there's this book that I preach about. It's called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And so I didn't have the book because I'm down here in Florida, so I get the audio on Audible, and I started listening to it. And he said, the book was just telling story after story, but it said Jesus healed 10 lepers. Only one of them came back and said, thank you. And I was like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Although a lot of people are not appreciative, Hutch. They lose that sense of gratitude just like that. It's like losing your focus. You've got to work your ass off to stay on the gratitude and the thankfulness and away from fear. No fear. Faith is the opposite of fear. Faith will crush fear. I want you to tell people why you think you are the number 2. I don't want you to say because Megan's better. I don't want you to say that. I want you to talk about the other 900 people below you. Why are you number 2? What do you think is so special about you, Hutch?
Honestly, it's just, at the beginning when I first came in 9 years ago, I was one of those people that was just running on fear and, didn't have the belief level that I could do this. I was at the events, but I was, sitting in the back and just seeing the top producers and just thinking, well, they're just special or they're just gifted. But it's like Mia was saying earlier, when you plug in and you get around the people and you reach out for help and you stay in touch with those that really want to help you and your leaders and mentors and let them pour into you, and then staying consistent with the activity, the experience helps you get better. The consistency helps you get better. And And so it's not anything special about me except the fact that I was just determined not to quit. You know, you've always told us, hey, we have 100% success rate for people who just don't quit. So that was first and foremost. I knew I couldn't quit, but I also knew I had to plug in and make myself available to the resources that y'all at NAA and the corporate staff have made available to us as agents. And when you do that and stay consistent with it, you'll see the results.
You're right.
And that attitude of thankfulness, you know, that's huge. Because when you stop being grateful and thankful, you start having expectations of what you deserve, and that lack of gratitude will get you off track and derail you in a heartbeat. But yeah,
you got any idea how much money was deposited in your checking account last month, Hutch?
43,000
last month.
I'm sorry, that was August. We're in October already. Last month was about 28,000.
Month before that, 40.
43.
Month before that,
42.
I want to point out that you had that pretty wife before you had the money.
Yeah.
So when people are like, the only reason she's dating you is because you're rich, you're like, hey, buddy, I was not a top performer.
True.
How you doing? How's the babies coming along?
Fantastic, man. Due date is mid-January for girl number 3, and we are done after that.
Oh.
What kind of work's your wife do?
She's able to be home with the kids.
Take care of them youngins and takes care of you.
She sure does. It's a full-time job. I pay her overtime.
You go to college. Mark Hutchins, did you go to college?
I did. I went to a small private Christian school, got a Bible degree, and
What's the name of it?
Bob Jones University in Greenville.
They don't like for you to hold hands up there, do they?
They don't. They don't.
You walking down the sidewalk, holding hands, and hey, you better straighten up over there.
Yep. Pretty strict.
Wow.
I don't know why I didn't know you went to Bob Jones. You know I went to Alamance Christian from the 2nd grade to the 7th grade.
Okay.
That's all they dream of, going to Bob Jones one day.
Yep.
Guys, look. Here's what people don't believe. Accountability is a choice, and being accountable is based on the choices to either be faithful or fearful. To bitch about fairness, right? My wife, she gets mad when I use the F word. Fairness. It ain't fair. Or thankful. If you're having a problem with fairness and you're bitching about stuff because it ain't fair, have accountability to switch over to gratefulness and then figure out how to go around the problem and let's solve it on my shoulders or your shoulders. You with me on that, Garland? It's not fair that you didn't find this when you was Gina's age. It's not fair that you were older when you found it. I'm with you. I wish I'd have found it when I was 22, when I was 23. I found this when I was 37. The fairness about it is I'm glad that I found it, period. I'm glad that I recognized it. I'm glad that I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative that somebody let me do it. I'm appreciative somebody didn't steal stuff from me. If you can layer the gratitude to the point that you have no fairness problems, you now have energy. See, here's what we say to people, Mia. I can't change you, but I can pour into you and talk to you to where you can change you.
That's good. That's good.
My friend, hip hop preacher Eric Thomas says, information changes the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Perception changes the situation. What's my friend from down there in Alabama, down there on the beach, wrote several books. We had him to come in and speak. The Noticer. Have you ever read that book, The Noticer? It's the perception. He notices stuff. the way you see stuff, if you see it, it's like looking at you with that mask on, Gina, and then looking at you now. The perception changes dramatically. As you said, I was going to the bathroom. I wasn't walking out on you. So when I'm speaking, I always assume that people are going to the bathroom. I called Clay. I said, they go get something to eat. He said, what do you mean? I said, they went to get something to eat. That's what I said. You don't mean, like, the perception changes your attitude. You've got to keep that optimistic perception of the business, the people, the insurance companies. I mean, hey, by the way, Jeff Bright said I should tell people this. There's privately held companies, there's publicly held companies, mutually held companies, and fraternal held companies. None of them have a soul. They're all out to make money, just like banks. But we manage how they handle us. We manage it by relationships, like Bruce Barak with Foresters, Matt Berman with Foresters, Brent Bench with Mutual of Omaha, Dave Coughlin with Transamerica. And that's the large part of my job. And then when I introduce them to y'all, I always tell you, go up to them and say how grateful we are, how thankful we are that they're coming to help us. It's not the insurance coming to help us. It's the human beings inside of the insurance company that we need to build a relationship with. And they have rules and regulations, and they got a job, and they have bosses, and we have to manage that situation. It's almost impossible with public companies. With private companies, it can be dangerous. Mutual, it's safer to me, and fraternals. But don't get me wrong, we kill it with Transamerica. They're a publicly held company. We kill it with them. They're going through massive transitions, all the time firing, and it's just crazy. But we have to manage how that works. But we take responsibility of learning. This company takes COPD. This company takes heart attacks. This company takes people that are under tall. Y'all know what under tall is, right? 200 pounds, but he ain't all that tall. Under tall, right? We have to manage that stuff. We know which carrier tolerates it. We take responsibility. We're grateful. We got a guaranteed issue company. And here's what people say, we don't pay as much. Well, thank God to pay us something, because that joker's about dead. He done got the sugar. He got the paranoia. He got the arthritis. And we done got him issued. Thankful that we got 50 cents for writing it. Grateful that we guaranteed issue company. We got another guaranteed issue, goes down to zero. You talk about little pay. It's terrible. See, most times, Gina, if you make it past, 40, then we can get you something. In other words, if you're about to die, we can still get you coverage even after 40. But under 40, because they know you ain't gonna make it. Believe it or not, one of the scariest times in life is that first hour and a half. Meaning, if we can get you through that hour and a half, and you're a baby, you got a lot better chance of making it. And most people know the first 12 weeks of conception is the most dangerous, because miscarriages happen. It's dangerous. So your life goes like this: extremely dangerous, less dangerous, and then it goes back up to dangerous. Y'all know that? Like when it's extremely dangerous at conception, and then when you come out, you still real high chance that you're going to die. But once you hit Earth, start crying, start eating, it goes back up, and you get safer until you get, say, 68, 70. Then it starts going. Isn't that crazy? And these insurance companies watch those numbers, and that's what they design the policies after. And women are going to live longer. That's why with some companies it's cheaper. If it's the same price, I promise you, they stole some of the money to put it over to the men. They know what they're doing. It's a business. We're in business together. I love Terry talking about the monkey syndrome. Somebody else sent me another analogy. I can't remember it. We're in this together. And if we stick together, we got a better shot. And if we keep having gratitude and thankfulness and faith, we will take this thing to a multi-billion, and we will get multiple partners coming on board the company. But it's called, I hate to say it, it's work. It's work. That's why Hutchins kicking people's butt. He outdials them. He outfaiths them. F-A-I-T-H. He outfaiths them. He outgratitudes them. And he just keeps going. Other people looking for better commissions. They're looking for better treatment. They're looking for better this, better that. It's nonstop. I was talking to the guy. I said, it's never going to change for you. You've got to quit that or you're never going to be powerful. Power comes from these things, accountability. It's on, if it is to be, it's up to me. It don't mean you can't reach out. Jason calls me as much as anybody in the country. You let up lately. Don't let up. He's starting to go on a trip to Thailand. I'm going to talk to Albright.
That's one thing I'm grateful for.
What are you grateful for?
That you pick up my call when I call.
I don't pick it up all the time, people. Don't.
No, he doesn't. But when it matters most, you pick up. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't take that for granted.
What are you most grateful for in your life, Gina? A couple of things you're grateful for.
My family. I'm grateful that I have a really good support system. And I'm grateful that I keep having the drive to just keep going, no matter like the obstacles that I encounter throughout life, that I just keep moving forward.
That's you, Mia.
Opportunity. God giving me just a chance to not stay where I was, but continually growing. Good people around me that see more in me sometimes than I see in myself. And just the chance to just be somebody that I've always wanted to be, keep trying to be that person, but keep dreaming and goals and have things that I'm working towards. Some people die with no dream. I just want to die knowing that I was working towards mine.
Wow, that's big.
How about you, Brandon?
I'm thankful for my health, my family's health, your daughter. I'm thankful for the opportunity I got in front of me and the people that you put into my life, and that like Jason and the rest of the team and everybody at corporate. So thankful for a lot. I can keep going.
Hutch.
Ditto to all that, man. It's 11:16 on a Friday morning, and there are people sitting in an office right now looking at a time clock, waiting, counting down the hours till the weekend. And we get an opportunity to have not just a career, but a lifestyle where we can go out and dictate how much we make, the kind of lifestyle we live, the freedom of time that we have, and then an opportunity to share that with as many other people that can do it for themselves.
Gina.
Wow.
Get your license.
I started reading chapters. I started going through the quizzes. I'm getting good scores, so we'll get there. I'm gonna get it done.
Y'all see that?
Get it done, Gina.
I'll see that.
TikTok.
TikTok, baby. TikTok. Hey, number one with Foresters in the fourth quarter gets a bad to the bone Rolex watch. PepsiCo Rolex watch. Bad to the bone. Just for 1 quarter of production. That's just one of the contests. Throw it out there. Double production, double points counting for the other contests, 25,000 on the line. And we're going to Thailand. It's like they're all trying to trick us to get our faithfulness and our gratitude right. Look at that, how fast it goes by. Love y'all. Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
Get it done. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Go get them, Gina.